iOS 11, macOS updates, MacBook Pro updates, new iMacs, as well as the update to the iPad, finally a file system. In this video, we're going to talk about everything that was announced and talked about today at WWDC. That's coming up right now. Let's go. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and let's begin with the Apple TV. So this is the first product that Tim Cook talked about when he took the stage today, and there was very minor announcements to the Apple TV, but a major one indeed. People have been wanting Amazon Prime Video on the Apple TV, and finally you're gonna get Amazon Prime Video to your Apple TV, and they did discuss that there will be updates later this year for Apple TV, so stay tuned for that when they announce the iPhone 8 later in the fall. But yeah, Apple TV definitely got some updates today. Also announced today was watchOS 4. So I don't use an Apple Watch currently, but I do know someone who has an Apple Watch and they will be letting me use it for this channel. So I will be talking about that later this year. But basically you're just going to get new Woody, Buzz Lightyear watch faces, a Siri face interface, which is going to go more in sync with your iPhone, your Mac, your iPad, which is a nice feature. New features for when you're swimming in the pool on your Apple Watch, and many, many more coming to the Apple Watch. But the Apple Watch is not a total redesign. It's just more feature enhancements to the already great Apple Watch, and it is pretty much blowing away the competition in terms of sales and in terms of customer satisfaction as announced. So Apple Watch updates, kind of minor, but they are coming. Also discussed at this event was the Apple Mac OS. So right here, I am actually running Mac OS Sierra on my MacBook Pro right here, and the next version is going to be called Mac OS High Sierra. As the name would suggest, macOS High Sierra is going to be more of a refinement rather than a total redesign. macOS is not going to change that much in design for macOS High Sierra, but it is going to bring more features such as more split screen support. Also the new Apple file system, which was recently announced in iOS, I think it was 10.3 on the iPhone, so definitely coming here to the Mac OS. Also GPU improvements as well, and just the overall system is going to be more cohesive, more performance oriented. So the Mac OS High Sierra is coming later this year. Okay, so there also was some iMac announcements. Basically they are introducing new 21.5-inch 4K iMacs with USB-C ports, as well as 27-inch iMacs that do have better screens. Both these displays are going to be getting brighter, more color accurate, so better retina displays coming to the same design though on the newer 27 and 21.5 inch iMacs. Improved GPUs, as well as 7th generation Kaby Lake CPUs, which are basically Intel's latest. We are going to have 8th gen CPUs in Windows computers later this year in the fall before Christmas. So, you know, you could say Apple might be a little behind here again, but they're definitely going to go with the current ones that you can currently buy today. They also went ahead and updated the entire MacBook lineup in terms of internal specifications. Even the MacBook Air got a slight update to the megahertz, but MacBook Pros now do support 7th generation Intel Kaby Lake CPUs, and they do have a little bit of a lower starting price point for the entry-level MacBook. So that's pretty much the updates with the hardware. No difference in the design. It's the same exact design as we all expected. And the big one, the iOS 11 was announced today. It's not, you know, as big as I thought it was going to be. The design looks about the same as iOS 10, but it does have a lot of refinement. So I think this is going to be a refinement year for iOS 11. The beta will be available for public beta release later this month. So we're going to be covering it here on the channel. Stay tuned for that. We're going to be covering all the iPhones because I pretty much support all of them around here. But there's a new control center. There's also new features that allow you to have better access to your music. So there's also a redesigned app store in the new iOS 11. So iOS 11 is going to bring a nicer design, more wallpapers. It's going to bring a new control center, better efficiency, better live photo support, better photo support, also better iMessaging support. And one of the big features they announced today was the Apple Pay, where you can go ahead and pay people person to person. No longer do you have to use PayPal anymore. If you want, you can use Apple Pay to Apple Pay. So just making iOS integration between two iOS devices even better once again. So iOS 11 is going to be coming here shortly. We'll have visuals on the channel when we cover the software in depth. So it's going to be pretty great for your iPhones coming this fall. So iPad Pros got major announcement today. We all expected the 10.5-inch Apple iPad Pro, and it is here. We have the 10.5-inch Apple iPad Pro. You can pre-order it today. It should be shipping next week. They also updated the one that's 12.9 inches or 13 inches, you could basically say. Updated internals, A10X chipset. Man, what a beast. It's gonna be probably the most powerful chipset in any iOS device right now. They start at $649 for the 10.5-inch and $799 for the 12.9-inch edition. They're also going to come in higher storage capacities, half a terabyte up to an iPad. You can get 512 gigs of storage now on an iPad. That is just ridiculous. So for people who want to replace their Mac with their iPad, it's becoming more of a reality because Apple today announced the Apple file system. So finally we have something of a file system. It doesn't look as robust as the one on Windows, but definitely better than not having one at all. It does support all the major cloud storages such as Dropbox, OneDrive, Apple iPhotos or Apple iCloud. It's gonna support all of the major cloud storage based things, even Google Drive on your iPad. And also they announced the dock. So you see this dock right here on the MacBook down here. They're going to be supporting that on the iPad as well. So there's a whole new different iOS operating system specifically designed for iPad this year. And I think a lot of us iPad users have been wanting this for a very long time. So stick around. The iPad announcements are going to be great, and we will be covering those as well here on the channel later this year. And also Apple has announced the Siri speaker. It begins at $350 and it looks like a pretty advanced speaker. You could check it out now at their website, but totally, man, you know, Google Assistant, Google Home's got a much more valuable speaker in terms of the price point. So we're gonna have to see how good this Siri speaker really is. It does come in the white design, so we're gonna check it out. Maybe we'll pick one up. Let us know down below in the comments section if you'd like to see that here on the channel. But that's pretty much everything that was major that was announced today. This was a crazy event in terms of announcements. There was a ton of announcements here. This was a huge event, and the next time you're going to see anything big will probably be later this year, specifically for the iPhone 8, and I think they're reserving that because that's going to be a huge announcement. That's why they wanted to take care of these ones right now. But yeah, we're going to be covering iOS 11 on the channel, macOS, iPad, iOS 11, as well as maybe tvOS, watchOS if you like to see that on the channel as well. This is not an all Apple only channel, but we're going to cover those things here. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, click the like button for me, subscribe to the channel for more tech updates, reviews, vlogs, battery test, all kinds of things on the Nick Ackerman channel. So have a great day wherever you are. Be sure to be well, and peace.